Stu Taylor here with Wade Cherwayko. He's the chairman and CEO of Mart Resources. And talk a little about what Mart Resources does and what's your business model.
Okay, well, Mart Resources is a Canadian public company listed on Toronto Stock Exchange, the TSXV Venture Exchange. Our principal and core business is oil and gas production in Nigeria. It's a place where we've been for many years. I've been working in that part of the world for over 20 years. We're currently developing and producing an asset called the Umusadegi field. We did it in partnership with indigenous Nigerian companies who are Midwestern Oil and Gas and SunTrust Oil. We started production in the field in 2008, and we're pleased to say that we've had an all-time high this week of 15,000 barrels a day.
Congratulations.
We have a substantial reserve base that we've been increasing over the last few years. We've had a recent well we drilled, which had a big impact on increasing proved probable reserves. We have had some constraints in export pipeline capacity, so we've been limited in daily production. We exited 2011 at 8,000 barrels, and now we're at 15, just due to mainly reaching an agreement with the owners of that third-party pipeline to increase production. We will continue to have some constraints in 2012, but we are nearing conclusion of an agreement with Shell to run a pipeline. We'll build a 50-kilometer pipeline to a Shell trunk line and export facility, estimating it'll take us 12 months to commission that line. Then we'll have a big bump up in production. You know, we're estimating we could increase production 25,000.
Sounds great. Do you have any insight in the current year marginal fields to be awarded to the Nigerian government?
Yeah, we believe that the Nigerian government will come out with a statement within the next 2 to 3 months, basically formally announcing another marginal field allocation program. The original program, which we operate under on our Umusadegi field, was allocated. There was 24 fields awarded to indigenous companies. We believe government will probably award similar 20, 30 fields under the new allocation.
Wade, what's your view on the longer-awaited oil bill in Nigeria and its potential impact on the company?
Yeah, the petroleum industry bill, it's good for the industry. It doesn't affect us as much as it would affect the major oil and gas companies. Reason being is the government's basically restructuring the entire Petroleum Act and restructuring the entire fiscal regime. On some of the offshore developments, actually government's looking to increase their take. So if you're a major working in a deep water development, it's going to hurt you a little bit. Because we operate under indigenous programs, we're already enjoying substantial fiscal benefits under indigenous marginal field terms such as reduced royalties and taxes. The petroleum industry bill as we know it under the current draft, it's not finalized yet, I think will even further give us relief, tax releases, and further help indigenous allocated blocks. So.
To talk about your primary project, what you can expect in the future in terms of wells and how well it's faring. Talk about your primary project. Is it pronounced Umusadegi?
Umusadegi.
Okay. Talk about that in a little bit of detail.
Well, the field, as I said, we started production in 2008. The original estimates of reserves in that field were about 8 million barrels. We've drilled 5 wells to date, including our recent well, Umo 9, which actually was a step-out well. It was kind of an exploration appraisal well. And we went deeper, and it had a substantial increase on proved probable reserves. So year after year, last 3 years, we've had a nice increase in proved probables. Umo 9 was a big step up for us. And what it's done is it's given us comfort in some additional appraisal and exploration drilling that we see on our seismic. So we will be coming out with some announcements soon with our yearly reserve reports. We'll be announcing the year-end reserve reports early next week, and then we're having an upgrade to the reserve reports coming out with Q1 financials end of May. Reason being is the Umo 9 well wasn't drilled by year-end, so we'll have 2 reserve reports coming out in the next 5 weeks.
Sounds great. Your impressions of this HiAlpha Energy Investment Conference?
Yeah, it was a great conference. It wasn't well known to me. I presented quite a few conferences, but I was very impressed with the conference. Typically these conferences, you're sitting there listening to other people tell their story, but a high energy conference had me busy from 8 o'clock this morning in one-on-ones. I had a chance to go down and do my presentation. That was about it. So I was impressed, and I'll be back next year.